So, here we go again. Well, I read that it was probably a good idea to plan what you're going to say in a podcast. And as we all probably guessed by now, I don't really plan anything. I'm not one for planning these types of things, even though I do have a constant narrative going on in my brain. Like every second of a day, there is that constant conversation about everything and anything, and what if, and what way, and what how, and what where. And it always runs through. Maybe people call that daydreaming. Maybe it is a daydream. Maybe I'm just daydreaming my life away. Because it's been a year now. And today's been a bag of mixed emotions. Because things happen. It's been a year. So I have to congratulate my friend on getting married. Well done, sir. You've been married for a year. Well done. It's been a year since I've seen my friends. That's hard. Because before I moved away, I used to know them. I used to see them every day. My best friend, Great Gavini, Big T, all of these people, I'd see every day. And we discuss the day. And we work it through over a cup of tea. That is obviously the British way, is to work it out over a cup of tea and a biscuit. Probably a raw one. And then in the evening we'd have microwave chips in a chip butty. And raspberry ripple ice cream. There you go, you see weird combinations of things, but that's just how we rolled. And we formed a collective. An artistic collective. And I miss those days. I miss the days of sitting with my friends every evening and discussing the day and how bonkers it was, and much doing what I do now in this cast. Well, minus for book reading. But we used to sit there and discuss things and talk about just random stuff. More random than the stuff I discuss nowadays. And I feel like a year has gone by. Lots have happened in this year. I've lost my marbles. I've not found them again, but I have tablets to try and find them. I'm talking to psychiatrists. I've got counselling this week to try and solve how I'm going to deal with my running life. There's just so much going on. And yet, some of it is not what I want. And what I want, I cannot have. And that is the sad thing about today. Because there's markers in our life through constant points. And today is a day of markers. On that sad note, I'll leave it at that. So we'll change the subject. Because the other day, well, I have several stories. First of all, first story is I was in Tesco's, my local supermarket. Anyone listening to this podcast, full stop. I think we need to start the whole point of, if anyone is listening to this podcast, why? But if you are listening, and you've stumbled across this podcast, Tesco's is a supermarket in the United Kingdom. I believe there might be one in somewhere like Dubai, weirdly. But Tesco's a big supermarket chain, not like a bit like a Walmart, but Asda, they own Asda in the UK. But Tesco's a big supermarket. But on one of the top shelves, there was a sign. And it said, "Not for store use. Do not put anything on this shelf." Now, it got me thinking, surely the store is using that sign to say not put anything on the shelf. And by putting the sign on the shelf, they've put something on the shelf. So it kind of did my head in. I took a photo of it. And someone asked me why I was taking a photo of a sign. I promptly tried to explain, but it was a sign on the shelf that says you shouldn't use the shelf. And secondly, we're in a store and it says do not use for a store. So I said it's kind of contradictory. And they said, so it's kind of contradictory, was their reply. And they just didn't get it. They just couldn't see the comedy value in it, which made me quite sad, really. I just thought, fucking hell, and I wandered off. So yeah, I'm just very confused by these people. And the other thing is, I was talking to my children, and I said to one of them, you know, I knew an old woman. I said, did you? I said, yeah, she swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Now, they looked at me and said, really? She swallowed a fly? I said, yeah. Do you know what she did? They went, no. I said, she swallowed a spider. Really? They said, swallowed a spider. Yes, to catch the fly. They went, oh, really? I went, yeah. But catch the fly that wiggled and jiggled and wiggled inside her. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. And they went, really? She swallowed a spider to catch a fly? I went, yes, of course she did. I said, really? I said, yeah, and she swallowed a bird. Now, they were starting not to trust me at this point. I said, yeah, she swallowed a bird to catch a spider. But she swallowed a spider to catch a fly. To catch a fly, but wiggled and jiggled and wiggled inside her. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. So, yeah. And I was kind of starting to doubt it, but the 5-year-old was still holding strong. Really? She swallowed a spider? She swallowed a bird? I said, yeah, but then she swallowed a cat to eat the bird. She swallowed a cat? Oh, yeah, of course she swallowed a cat. It's a crazy lady. Swallowed a cat to eat the bird. She swallowed a bird to catch a spider. She swallowed a spider to catch a fly that wiggled and jiggled and wiggled inside her. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. So it did went on, and we made it to the horse. And, yeah. And they were like, he was still like what? She swallowed a... yeah. So, yeah, I can't believe it. I sometimes you need an old nursery rhyme. And I thought we'd told him that years ago, but oh well. Anyway, right, we better do some reading. Right, open Kindle. Kindle. See, it never doesn't make that song when you open it. I find just more things should make it more comical. My son was looking at buying a keyboard today. He said, "Oh, this one makes a better noise." I was like, "What? Does it go pong, bing, pong, ping?" Right, here we go. Oh yeah. Right. She got in her mother's car. Right. She's been back to her boyfriend's, who's a twat, and she's just dumped him. So, sadness. Right, Monday morning. What? Hold on. Monday morning. Okay, this seems like another book. Okay, right. And what do you think would happen if you told the police of your suspicion? I asked. Okay, I have no idea what it's all about. Nothing at all, the frail old lady replies. She has to be at least 90. Her white hair is in perfect finger waves. And her dress is a pretty shade of mauve. They're useless. Mauve. Now, in a book that's mainly just about people boinking, we're going to use the word boinking today. I don't know why. Anyway, you'd think that mauve was not really the colour they use. Burgundy, like, well, yeah, a pretty shade of green or red, or some base colours, not mauve. Mauve. It's not even I just don't like the word. I dutifully scribbled down her reply on my notepad. I'm out in the field today, following up my local lead. Oh, sorry, following up my own lead. There has been a string of satanic graffiti on the fronts of houses lately, and this particular woman's house has been done 3 times. Fed up with a lack of support from the police department, she contacted Miles Media, and I was the lucky one who picked up the phone. So, tell me when this all began, I asked. Oh, right, so now we're going to have some satanic ritual stuff going on in the book. We've had one-night stands, bosses going a bit too far, and now with satanic rituals. Is this all going to link up? Do we think Jameson's a secret Satan worshipper and he's going to strap her down to some goat? Anyway, right, back in November, she paused as she tried to remember. November 16th was the first time. A huge mural of the devil himself. Right. I look up from my notes. What did it look like? Evil. She gets a faraway look in her eyes. Pure evil. So lifelike, with huge fangs and blood dripping everywhere. Even out of his... Well, it's dripping everywhere, you know what I'm saying? It must have been terrifying for you. It was. That was night when the jewellery store got robbed around the corner, so I remember it well. Oh, I frowned. She didn't mention this before. Do you think it's related? She stares at me blankly. The graffiti and the robbery, I mean. I clarify. Well, I think you do, because obviously the lady's blankly stared at you. But she is... What did we say? She was 90-something? No, can't find it. Why it said it. No, don't know. She paused for a moment and then contorts her face as if in pain. This is a bit boring now, isn't it? This book's gone really... On page 82 and it's gone downhill drastically. It went downhill about page 77, to be honest. I never thought of that before, but it's all making sense now. The police are in on this conspiracy. She begins to pace. Yes, that's it. She taps her hand on the top of her head as she walks back and forth. Okay, crazy people doing crazy. Really, does anyone actually do that? There's something off here. Is this woman of sound mind? Well, probably not if she's walking back and forth, tapping her head. What did you do when you found graffiti on your house? I called the police and they told me they don't have time to come out for graffiti, but to take a picture of it and email it to them. Oh, that's nice. Instagram it. Hashtag police. And you did that? Yes. What happened then? My son got my house acid washed and removed it. But 3 nights later it happened again. But this time it was an image of someone getting murdered. A woman had been stabbed. Graffiti was so intricate that it looked like a painting. Oh, I continued to take notes. What did you do this time? I went down to a police station and demanded someone come and look at my house. My neighbour had his house vandalised too. Okay, I scribbled down a story. What's your neighbour's name? Robert Day Daniels. I glanced up from my notes, surprised by his name. His name is Robert Day Daniels. Or is it Daniel Day Roberts? Her voice trails off as she thinks. I stare at her as I wait for her to decide which it is. I forgot his name. She scrubs her hands in her hair as if about to launch into a panic. That's okay. I'll just write Robert Day Daniels for a moment, and then we'll come back to it a little later. Literally, they're trying to draw this. Obviously, what's happening here is the old lady's bonkers, and she's making this stuff in her head, and this is a false lead or something, and it's all going to be just a comical joke. Yes, okay, she smiles, pleased that I am not pushing her for the exact name. What was drawn on the house, I ask. What are those horrible devil stars? I see. Tell me, what did the police do this time? Nothing. They didn't even come out here. They're very busy, I reassure her as I write. Tell me about the last time it happened. The entire house was painted red. I glance up in surprise. The entire house was red. The whole street? An easiness sweeps over me. That is weird, I frown. No shit, Sherlock. Really? Do you think it's weird? Surely. I got a feeling this book's going slowly downhill. Oh, shall we just skip this bit? She leans in close so that I only can hear her. Do you think it's the devil, she whispers. Obviously it's some bonkers lady. Okay, I hand her my card. If you think anything else, please. Yes, I will. She cuts his card. Okay, so I've skipped a bit. Sorry about that, but it is a bit shit. I go down the street and interview several, even too shit for me to read the 3 paragraphs. I go down the street and interview 7 more people, and their stories all correlate. I have definitely enough evidence to go forward. I go back to the office and type the story up and hand it to Hayden. It feels good breaking news. Right. I sit at my desk and stare at my computer screen. It's 4 o'clock on Monday, and I'm in a funk. Oh. Funk. Okay, whatever. American books. Use just a funk. Now I just see her just like with a big afro on and some flared trousers, just doing a bit of disco moving. Since I got back to New York late last night, I've had a bad case of the guilt, even though I knew that Robbie and I were reaching our expiration date. I returned a bag of groceries accidentally taken. Right, they might be giants. Go on now. Expiration date. There's a song. I returned a bag of groceries accidentally taken off the shelf before the date stamped on its back. There we go. I kind of feel like I sped it up and didn't let it run its course. But then, on the other hand, we'd been stagnant for months, and I took this job knowing he wasn't coming with me. I think I subconsciously knew where we were close to the end. No, I think you just ran away from him because he's a twat. The God is here, Aaron whispers. I glance up. Who? Tristan Miles, he whispers. I spy over the screening above my desk, and as he talks to the manager of the floor, Rebecca. Who's Tristan Miles? Is that his brother? He's wearing a pinstripe navy suit. His brown wavy hair is in the just fucked perfection, and he has this dreamy smile on his face as he talks. He has the whitest teeth I've ever seen and huge dimples. She's giggling like a schoolgirl, Aaron frowns. He's never on this level, Molly says. What do you reckon he's doing here? Aaron whispers as his eyes stayed glued to the fine specimen. His job, I replied flatly. He does work here, you know. The more I think about it, the more I know. I've romanticised this whole Jameson Miles thing. He doesn't like me. Hold on. So Tristan Miles is here, and she's doing Jameson. Just horny, and there was a big difference. He probably had sex with 5 women since Friday night when I spoke to him. I haven't heard from him since, and I don't want to either. I didn't leave Robbie because Jameson told me to. I left Robbie because he'd stopped putting in any effort. Rah-de-rah-de-rah-de-rah-de-rah. Oh, just literally, he's so rubbish now. It's only, sadly, this book, this book, unless they're talking about boinking, actually is really dull. It's just now becoming a bit dull. I think we're going to have to find another book. I really do. 'Cause it just keeps going. More graffiti people. Oh. No. Yeah. Someone else has got a story in the newspaper. Right, we're giving up. Right, on that note, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go and look for another book. It's not like I'm not behind all this stuff. It's been a bit of a weird day. Garden centres putting plants in when the rain stopped. And sad memories that are really happy memories, but some make me sad. So anyway, right. Toodle pip for now. Night night.